Hi everyone, I'm the other half of Merry Mystics, and I figured before I started my daily vlogs and talking about my craft and everything, I would let you guys know a little bit about me and how I got to be here. So I was raised in the South by conservative Republicans in a Baptist church that we went to until about middle school, high school. I think I stopped going like my freshman year of high school, and like my parents had stopped going way before then. The earliest I can think of that sparked my interest in witchcraft and everything was meeting them, the other half of Merry Meet Mystics. We had known each other through our parents and through Girl Scouts. I think we met when we were brownies, like that's first, second grade, but we didn't really get to know each other and be friends until about middle school. And it wasn't really until high school that I really developed my interest in everything, because my aunt gave me a deck of tarot cards. She thought they were really cool. They were zombie. I've never seen them before or since, but she was like, I got these at a book signing here, I thought you'd like them, like, go crazy. And at that time I was only interested in them because of the aesthetic. Like, I thought tarot cards were really cool looking. I was gonna frame them and put them on my wall, but I brought them home and I was like, Mom, look what my aunt gave me. And she immediately told me to go put them back in my car because I was not going to keep those cards. I was not going to bring the devil and death in our house. Mind you, we hadn't gone to church in at least 2 years by this point. But she was like, no, you're giving them back tomorrow. So I drove back to my aunt's house and I gave them back to her and I was like, I'm so sorry. And she was like, it's fine. I should have known better. And then that was really it. I was all hooked up in like, I've got to finish high school, I've got to go to college and all of that jazz. And it wasn't until partially through my first year at college that I was reintroduced to tarot, because one of my friends had a deck and it was passed down from like her grandmother to her mom to her, and she brought it in one day and she was like, I'm gonna do readings for you guys. Come on, I got this book. It's gonna be great. So she pulled out her deck and of course we all took turns and like we did the whole horoscope spread and everything. And then we went to one of the haunted buildings on campus and did everything, which was probably not a good idea now that I know better. But yeah, that got me really interested. And the next night I bought the Rider-Waite deck, and the book that she'd used for meetings and everything, meetings and spreads, and went off. I get a lot of practice because I work at a summer camp, and when all the kids are asleep or it's a weekend, I do readings for everyone. But it wasn't until fall semester of 2019, so like super recently, that I really got into doing research, because I write for my school's paper, and my opinion section is called Mystic Magic because of the 2 times that I wrote on tarot cards at the very beginning, and then suddenly that's my whole brand. So I figured, on brand, I'm running out of things to write, I'm just gonna start researching and letting people know about all these things that are happening, like the occult, witchcraft, Wicca, all of that jazz. So I reached out to the other half of Merry Meet Mystics, and I was like, hey, can you tell me a little bit about this stuff? And of course they did, and I put that in my article, but then I was like, this is super interesting. I just bookmarked it to do a little bit more research later at a different date, and then just didn't. I kept buying tarot cards and didn't really look into it. And then at the beginning of the pandemic, I had to move out because I'm an essential worker at a retail store, and my dad is immunocompromised. So I left home, moved here, closer to my job, so I wasn't going back and forth and possibly infecting him. And it's where I really got a chance to look into everything, because I was out of the house, I could officially start my craft. I also got on TikTok at this point, which I've been avoiding because like my sister is 11 and she was on it, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't really trust it. but then I got sent some witchy vids from them, and I was like, all right, I can check this out. So I quickly found myself on WitchTok. I got a whole bunch of resources from there. I did a whole bunch of research. I started my Book of Shadows, and that basically brings us to the present. And here I am. But basically, like, I've just been spending most of quarantine researching, starting my craft, casting a few spells because practice makes perfect, right? I've started doing daily tarot drawings because I feel like I need the practice, because even though, like, I do readings every summer, it's just in the summer. During the school year, I tend to stop doing anything that furthers my craft, so I figured I needed some way to keep doing it. I have found possibly every mystical or like store that sells crystals here and in my hometown, all locally owned for the most part. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really know what my posting schedule is going to be. That's kind of a to be determined kind of thing, so we can feel this out, let intuition guide us. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bless be.